In our overstimulated world filled with all kinds of toxins for our body, we are suggested multiple kinds of cleanses and detoxes promising to rid our body of waste that we otherwise wouldn't be able to remove ourselves. One of those is a dopamine detox. Unlike other detoxes and cleanses, you actually don't have to ingest anything. It's actually the opposite. You are abstaining from ingesting. Well, actually, ingesting isn't even the right word here. It's more like you're not consuming. But potato, potato. If you watched my last video, you will know that dopamine is already in us. So we're actually not really getting rid of anything. We're just kind of letting the lying beast lie, and that's kind of the detox that this is. So dopamine is responsible for a feeling of excitement over rewards and anticipation of those rewards. Because dopamine hasn't been at your goal planning sessions and mastermind meetings, it doesn't know that you want to direct your life in a specific direction. You want to make some changes to your behavior and focus on improvements. Dopamine kind of marches to the beat of its own drum and is a bit of a player. It goes wherever the rewards are fast and easy to attain. It doesn't care that you want to work on writing a book or you want to finish studying for your exams. Those really aren't on their agenda. So here you are in an environment which is constantly offering fast rewards: TV, food, music, social media, shopping online, and so on. The problem with all this overstimulation is that we're almost short-circuiting ourselves. We're raising the threshold of what it actually takes to experience some rewards. Our attention span is plummeting, and it's just taking bigger and bigger show, compacted in shorter and shorter segments to really even keep our attention to focus on anything at all. Perfect example is what you're doing right now, which is watching this YouTube video. If you have ever been on YouTube for more than 5 minutes, you know that there are millions of videos out there, and the ones that are getting watched more than others will have special effects and pizzazz, like a better quality camera, different angles, shorter clips, music, B-roll, that's like all the background footage that is added in to kind of help you paint a better picture. Yeah, I know a few terms now. And so on and so forth. We are captured by a title or a thumbnail, and we determine whether we're even going to give this video any time of the day just based on that. We are so used to this already, you probably don't even realize that you're doing it. So because of this overall stimulation, we then struggle to find enjoyment in anything really, and it's affecting our mental health, and because of that we're getting more anxiety, more stress, more depression. So many people opt to take a break from all of this and do a fast. Now, what is a dopamine fast and why do people really do this? Well, they do the fast to gain more control over their temptations and impulses. As I touched on already, the constant stimulation that we receive is really just too much of a good thing. It affects our mental health, it affects our physical health. And we're submerged in these distractions and we're going through our days just like zombies. The reasons why people do this detox is to help them gain some awareness and control over their decisions. There can be a variation to these detoxes, including elements of time, usually 24 hours to start, could be more or less if that's what you want to do. It also involves eliminating a bunch of things, anything that's going to be exciting for you. Could be obvious things like TV, phone, porn, you can't touch yourself either. Could go as far as not being able to read anything or have social interactions or even eat food. Basically anything that could excite you in any kind of a way. What you are allowed to do is potentially eat, again, depending on how strict it is, and you can write and be with yourself. This is supposed to create a lot of awareness and helps you gravitate towards why you're really going towards the distraction that you're going to and what you're trying to soothe, which is really where the writing part comes in. There can also be a cognitive behavior component which is added in to help you with awareness. So basically you are struggling in the boredom by yourself all day with nothing to do and just spending time, disassociating from all the distractions of your life. So what happens to people after they've done the fast? Well, the fast doesn't reset your mind or make you immune to all these temptations that you've had before. It doesn't decrease your dopamine levels or cause you to experience pleasure with even just the slightest bit of fun. The detox helps you regain some control over how you're going to respond to the same stimuli that you were exposed to before. You're not going to be a different person after that. If you like sweets, guess what? You still got a sweet tooth. That hasn't gone away. Nor do you now have some extra abilities to just say no. It does give you a better chance at stopping and thinking before you act, because you have more awareness that what you're about to do and that you're about to get more exposure again. But the thing is, all the prompts and behaviors that have led you to develop those habits in the first place are still there. You are returning to that same environment, and those habits haven't gone anywhere, and you haven't reset your temptations either in some kind of a way. You will fall into the same cycle again if you just let yourself be exposed to the same temptations a few times. Take spring cleaning, for instance. If you've ever done that, maybe cleaned out your closet, you can also say that you have probably done this more than once in your life. And every time you did this cleanup, you probably thought, A, wow, I have a lot of crap, and B, this is apparently B, things are gonna stay clean now since I got rid of all of the extra stuff that I don't need. But have you ever thought about how the heck did so many things I don't need make it into my closet in the first place? The problem isn't that you aren't cleaning your closet enough and that's why you have so much stuff. The reason you have so much stuff is because you have habits which led you to continue to bring more stuff in. So your spring clean will be your last one. Same will go for the detox. This is not a cure to your impulses. It's almost like it's another quick fix in a way. Here you have some behaviors that are having some noticeable effects on the quality of your life, and then 24 hours of being away from all of that, all those impulses and temptations just going to fix all of that. What the detox does is kind of just like spring clean all of your chemicals, and it just makes you realize that you got a lot of junk that you need to get rid of, which is a great step in the right direction. Awareness is the first step to making any kind of a change. The real work isn't the fast itself, although that can be hard. It's really what you do afterwards with all that awareness. Without changing the behavior that leads you to bring all that junk in, you're just going to be doing another detox at some point. So what do you do after? Well, first thing you should do is, if you aren't already subscribed to this channel, you should do that now, because I talk about how to change habits beyond what a quick detox would do for you. Once you've done that, take some inventory of how the detox went, if you did the detox. Real life continues after the detox. You may have seen some great benefits from taking that break, and you would like to continue seeing those same benefits. How much of that can you continue on after? Can you make some incremental improvements? Maybe instead of being on social media for 3 hours, which is what you were doing before, you can maybe fast for 1 of those hours per day. Now you're only there for 2 hours every day. This is still an improvement in the long run. This could be doable every single day if you want, and if this is still too difficult and you find yourself on a slippery slope, then see how you can reduce the temptations overall. Can you delete the app and just make it harder to access? Turn off notifications so that you're not getting reminded repeatedly to go on it. Can you use an app blocker for a certain amount of time every day? Maybe ask yourself, how much do I really need this temptation? Maybe you could just cut it out completely moving forward. I'm just giving you some options here. So think about what you're trying to distance yourself from and see how you can apply this to yourself. My experience with fasting is that I have done those in the past as well. I've taken extended breaks from social media, mainly Instagram. That was my main vice. I was off it for a few months, and I did this more than once, in fact. The first few days, like, they're kind of hard. You know, you find yourself reaching for your phone countless times only to see that there's nothing there, and you're kind of putting your phone down again. But that quickly wore off, and I didn't really miss it very much. And the time that I felt I had, like, I was happier, I slept better, it was great. But I'm gonna tell you, when I decided to go back on it, it didn't take me very long to be scrolling on there for a while, just like I did before. It became a very slippery slope again. If I'm not on there, it's not a problem. But once I was there, I was back at it again, almost to the same extent as before. I also did 2 fitness competitions a few years ago, and during this time, I couldn't have any sweets, like no fruits, no awesome carbs, like rice is a carb, but it's not really awesome. No alcohol, no other liquid caloric drinks, and I did this twice in like a few months at a time. Same thing, at first you're struggling, but soon I was cool like a cucumber. I mean, I was also eating a lot of cucumbers, so maybe that's why I was cool like a cucumber. Don't know. But when I was I completely off of eating sweets and delicious carbs? No. When I got my hands on those again, I could eat them all over again like I never missed a beat. And I hadn't even cut out everything all at once, but when I did cut things out, I would like just go into straight marathon mode. So a few months at a time I would be doing this, but every time I found myself around the same temptations again, I could tell it's going to be a very slippery slope. It's not because I have no control, it's because these temptations are designed to feel good and to be addicting to an extent. I had already developed the habits to use them prior, so when they were reintroduced to me, I already kind of knew what to do. Now, I don't scroll through Instagram for hours. I still pace myself when it comes to food, especially sweets and stuff. I do love that. But I've gained a lot of awareness during my holidays, and it's helped me make some adjustments to the habits I had, so once I went back to everything, it made it a lot easier, and that's where the real change happens. So if you want to fast, go for it, try it. It'll probably shed some light on how strong of a pull some of these distractions have on you, but focus on what you're going to do after them, and let me know what kind of fasts that you've done, if you have done, what have you spent time away from, and how has that changed what you have done afterwards. Share this in the comments below.